Hello Zenith women, and welcome to your favorite Sigma female channel. To be understood by few and misread by many, that is the secret satisfaction of the Sigma female. In a world obsessed with fitting in, Sigma females thrive on the edges, embracing their contradictions and quirks with a cool, effortless confidence. They don't seek approval or applause. Their greatest joy often lies in the subtle, unspoken moments that pass most people by. While others crave the spotlight, Sigma females find the most satisfaction in the offbeat, the unorthodox, and the oddly delightful. In fact, studies have shown that women with strong individualistic traits are often more self-reliant and emotionally balanced. But that's not to say they're above finding joy in peculiar pleasures. From mastering the art of saying no with a smile to unraveling life's smallest mysteries, Sigma females have a unique way of finding beauty and humor in places others would never think to look. Curious to find out what they secretly enjoy? Well, prepare to dive into the fascinating world of Sigma female satisfactions, where independence reigns and where the ordinary gets a refreshingly unconventional twist. Number 1. Relishing complexity in mundane tasks. Sigma females have a knack for turning even the most mundane tasks into something surprisingly satisfying. They approach everyday routines with the same attention they'd give to a complex puzzle, making sure every little detail is just right. Take something as simple as making a cup of coffee. To others, it's a quick caffeine fix, but to a Sigma female, it's almost a mini ceremony. She knows exactly how she wants the coffee ground, the water heated, and the timing down to a science. It's not about being picky. It's about taking a seemingly simple activity and creating a sense of precision and peace in it. Or consider the way she might arrange her desk. Every item has its place, not because of some obsessive need for order, but because she understands the satisfaction of things being just right. To her, a pen that's out of place is a small crack in the universe. She can't focus if something feels off. But when everything is where it belongs, that quiet sense of order fills her with an unusual calm. It's as if these small rituals, done just the way she likes, give her a sense of control in a world that otherwise insists on chaos. There's a subtle humor in it too. While others might rush through their day with things half done, she somehow found peace in something as simple as loading a dishwasher with perfect alignment. It's her small rebellion against the frenzy of modern life. To an outsider, it may look odd, but for her, it's the ultimate satisfaction. A reminder that even in the simplest things, she can create a world that's uniquely hers. Number 2. Mastering the art of observing without intervening. Sigma females have a unique ability to watch the world unfold without feeling the need to jump in, advise, or influence. They're the quiet observers in the back of the room, the ones who see every subtle shift, every unspoken gesture, and every hidden dynamic that others might miss. While others might feel compelled to join a conversation or fix a situation, Sigma females find an oddly satisfying freedom in simply watching. They see the patterns, predict the next moves, and note the smallest details that reveal so much about people, all while staying completely detached. Imagine a group of people in a lively debate. While everyone else is chiming in, eager to have the last word, a Sigma female is content to sit back and study the power plays and subtle alliances. She finds satisfaction in watching how people's personalities emerge, how egos swell and shrink, and how the conversation shifts and flows. It's like a live study in human nature that requires no action, just quiet presence. She doesn't feel an urge to participate. Being an observer is enough. There's a sprinkle of humor in it too. While people passionately argue or try to impress one another, she's sitting there, inwardly amused by how predictable or occasionally genuinely surprising people can be. This detachment isn't indifference, it's a refined skill. By choosing not to intervene, she can enjoy the moment for what it is, without the pressure of adding to it or steering it. For her, the satisfaction lies in the understanding gained, not in changing the outcome. It's a calm, unassuming power, one that lets her move through life with awareness, perspective, and a quiet smile at the drama others often create for themselves. Number 3. Saying no without any guilt. For Sigma females, saying no is less of a challenge and more of a deeply satisfying act of self-care. They don't feel the usual guilt that creeps in for others when declining an invitation, turning down an extra project, or bowing out of a social commitment. It's not about being difficult or antisocial. It's about recognizing their own limits and protecting what matters most, their time, energy, and peace of mind. For them, the simple word no isn't a roadblock. It's a boundary. And boundaries, they've learned, are the foundation of sanity. When a Sigma female says no to yet another weekend plan or declines that quick favor from a coworker, she's prioritizing her needs without the internal debate that others might wrestle with. There's no scrambling for excuses or fumbling for apologies. She doesn't feel the need to pad her answer with, "I'm so sorry, but," or "I wish I could, but." She's comfortable with the honest, unembellished no, and that's a rare kind of freedom. What's even more refreshing is that this unapologetic honesty often leaves others a little stunned, maybe even a touch envious. While many people feel the need to justify every refusal, Sigma females are quietly liberated by their straightforwardness. They know that every no clears space for a better yes later, whether that means time for a personal project, a moment of solitude, or simply a break from the constant demands of life. There's a touch of humor in how they approach it too. They've mastered the art of saying no with a polite smile, leaving people a bit taken aback yet oddly admiring. To a Sigma female, the joy isn't just in saying no, it's in knowing that they owe nobody an explanation. Number 4. Finding inspiration in unexpected, fleeting moments. Sigma females are masters at finding meaning in the tiniest, most unassuming moments. They don't need grand speeches or elaborate experiences to be inspired. Instead, it's the fleeting, unexpected glimpses of life that spark their creativity and imagination, small, unplanned scenes that most people overlook. To them, inspiration isn't something you seek out. It's something you stumble upon, often in the strangest places. Picture a Sigma female on a crowded train. While others are glued to their phones or lost in thought, she's observing the quiet dramas unfolding around her. The way one passenger absent-mindedly tugs on a loose thread. The tired but grateful smile on someone's face as they finally find a seat. The subtle nod between two strangers acknowledging each other's presence. Each expression, each gesture becomes a little window into someone else's world, a fragment of human experience that resonates deeply with her. This sensitivity to life's subtle patterns extends beyond people-watching, too. A patch of sunlight breaking through a rainy day, the winding roots of an old tree, or the sound of leaves rustling in a certain way. These are the fleeting details that hold meaning for her. They bring her a sense of wonder and renewal, a reminder that beauty often hides in the corners of the everyday. There's a kind of quiet thrill in it for her. While others seek excitement in big, bold experiences, she finds it in the delicate, the subtle, and the overlooked. It's as if the world is full of hidden messages meant only for her, sparking her mind and filling her with a sense of connection that others might never quite understand. In these fleeting moments, she finds not only inspiration but also a profound sense of belonging, knowing that somehow she's in tune with the intricate rhythms of life. Number 5. The contradictory satisfaction of complexity and simplicity. Sigma females live in a fascinating paradox, thriving on complexity in thought, yet craving simplicity in life. They're drawn to deep, intricate ideas, whether it's dissecting a philosophical concept, analyzing human nature, or losing themselves in abstract theories that demand focus and nuance. Their minds are like intricate mazes, constantly seeking out the most challenging paths. It's here, in these webs of thought, that they feel most alive, engaged, and in touch with their intellectual core. But while their minds thrive on depth, their surroundings tell a different story. In life's practical day-to-day details, they seek simplicity. Their living spaces are often minimalistic, free of clutter or excess. They prefer a few well-chosen items that hold meaning rather than a mass of belongings that weigh them down. To them, life feels more honest, more grounded, when it's stripped of unnecessary distractions. This streamlined approach gives them the mental clarity they need to dive deeper into the complex realms of thought that they love. The beauty of this contradiction is that it keeps them balanced. The simplicity in their lifestyle acts as a counterweight to the complexity of their inner world, grounding them and preventing mental overload. It's a rare kind of satisfaction, a feeling of authenticity that comes from honoring both sides of themselves without forcing either one to dominate. This paradox can leave others baffled. After all, how can someone who craves depth be so content with simplicity? Yet for the Sigma female, it's a perfect balance. They live comfortably with this duality, aware that it's precisely this blend of complexity and simplicity that makes them unique, self-aware, and most importantly, genuinely at peace with who they are. Number 6. Finding beauty in imperfections and flaws. Sigma females see the world differently. Where most people look for polish and perfection, they find beauty in the imperfect, the rough, and the unrefined. To them, flaws aren't things to hide. They're what make a person, a place, or an object genuinely interesting. There's a certain richness in things that have been weathered, marked, or shaped by life, and Sigma females have an eye for spotting the beauty in those little details that others might dismiss. Whether it's a scar, a crack in an old building, or an odd quirk in someone's personality, they're drawn to the stories these imperfections tell. The slightly crooked smile, the scar from a childhood misadventure, or even an uneven paint job on a wall. Each one holds a unique history. Sigma females appreciate these things because they know that flaws often reveal more truth than anything polished or perfected ever could. In a world where so much is curated, filtered, and fine-tuned, they find an almost rebellious satisfaction in embracing things that are real, raw, and unaltered. This acceptance of imperfection applies to themselves as well. They don't feel pressured to be flawless or pretend to be something they're not. Instead, they own their quirks and imperfections, seeing them as pieces of a larger, more meaningful whole. Sigma females find it freeing to simply be, without striving for some impossible ideal. They know that the things that make them different are precisely what make them beautiful. It's this perspective that gives them a calm confidence, a deep understanding that true beauty isn't in perfection but in authenticity. Their comfort with flaws is a quiet, unspoken kind of strength, a reminder to themselves and others that being real will always be more interesting than being perfect. Number 7. The quiet power in their own secrets. For Sigma females, privacy is a form of power. They don't feel the need to broadcast their lives or overshare their thoughts, preferring to keep their personal worlds carefully guarded. While others might feel compelled to be an open book, they find comfort in the quiet strength of holding back. There's a thrill in knowing that, despite what others might think they know, there's always more under the surface, layers that only they have access to. This sense of privacy isn't about distrust, it's about autonomy. By choosing what they reveal and what they keep hidden, they stay in control of their own narrative. Only a select few are allowed a glimpse into their inner lives, and even those few don't get the full story. It's a conscious choice, and it's deeply satisfying. In a world where so many people crave validation and visibility, Sigma females find their freedom in staying unreadable. It's as though they carry a quiet mystery around them, something unspoken that draws people in but always keeps them guessing. The real power here lies in the fact that they don't need to be fully understood to feel validated. Unlike those who seek affirmation from others, Sigma females are comfortable being known only in part. This subtle elusiveness makes them magnetic yet unreachable. And in many ways, it's this very mystery that becomes their strength, an energy they can carry without saying a word, a self-assuredness that speaks volumes without revealing too much. For Sigma females, keeping parts of themselves hidden isn't just about privacy. It's about preserving their independence, their autonomy, and their sense of self. There's a quiet joy in knowing that they're truly understood by very few, and that their inner world belongs entirely to them. Number 8. Letting go of pleasing others without being bitter. Sigma. Females have mastered the art of letting go of the need to please others, and they've done it with a rare kind of grace. They don't feel the constant tug to mold themselves to others' expectations or earn approval. They've reached a point where being liked isn't a measure of their worth. Instead, they find deep satisfaction in just being themselves. No need to soften their edges, censor their thoughts, or act in ways that aren't true to who they are. What's unique about this freedom is that it isn't wrapped up in resentment or defiance. They aren't rebelling against anyone or holding on to grudges about being misunderstood. In fact, they're remarkably unbothered by the distance that being unapologetically themselves may create. They don't look down on people who follow social norms or chase validation, nor do they see themselves as above it all. They simply accept that they've taken a different path, one that prioritizes authenticity over acceptance. This detachment allows them to move through life with an enviable sense of peace. They're content to let connections come naturally and go just as easily if they no longer fit. There's no bitterness in their independence, no secret need to prove anything to anyone. They're aware that some people may not understand their approach, and that's okay with them. They don't feel the need to change for anyone's comfort or approval, nor do they judge others for needing those things themselves. In a way, it's the ultimate form of self-respect, living in harmony with who they are and being at peace with the distance it sometimes creates. For Sigma females, true freedom isn't just doing what they want. It's about feeling complete without needing anyone else's permission or praise. Number 9, respecting others' boundaries, even when others don't. Sigma females possess an almost intuitive understanding of personal space and boundaries, and this respect for others' limits comes naturally to them. It's not about being told what's acceptable. They have an innate ability to sense when someone needs distance or when a line has been crossed, whether it's physical, emotional, or mental. While most people might fumble through social interactions, unsure of where the boundaries lie, Sigma females can feel out these unspoken rules with ease, almost as though they have a sixth sense for them. What makes this particularly satisfying for them is the quiet power it brings. By respecting others' boundaries without needing to be prompted, they create a safe, comfortable environment wherever they go. This allows them to move through spaces without the awkwardness or tension that often accompanies unclear or violated boundaries. And even when others don't share the same insight or respect, Sigma females aren't fazed. They're not out to change people or teach them lessons on respect. They simply continue to operate with a high standard of consideration, undeterred by the lack of reciprocity. In a world where boundary violations are often overlooked or brushed off, Sigma females find a kind of quiet strength in their ability to maintain their principles. It's not that they expect everyone to act the same way. They're aware that not everyone understands or values boundaries in the same way. But for them, respecting others in this way feels like an act of integrity, and it keeps them grounded in their own sense of self-respect. There's a satisfaction in knowing they don't need to engage in conflict or drama to maintain their peace. They simply respect the limits of others and move on, leaving an unspoken message that says, "I see you and I honor your space." Number 10, an obsession in small mysteries. Sigma females are naturally captivated by the small, seemingly insignificant mysteries that most people would overlook. It's not about grand mysteries or unsolved crimes. It's the little things that spark their curiosity. Perhaps it's a minor inconsistency in someone's story, a word choice that feels off, or a pattern in the way someone behaves that doesn't quite match up. These subtle inconsistencies don't frustrate them. They intrigue them. It's as if they see the world as a giant puzzle, and they're constantly piecing together clues, no matter how small or obscure. This obsession with small mysteries feeds their need for depth in a way nothing else can. While others might be content with the surface, Sigma females are always looking beneath it, wondering what's hiding just out of view. It's like a quiet game of mental chess, where they try to solve puzzles that have no clear answer, at least not one anyone else is likely to notice. A seemingly minor detail, like the way a colleague consistently avoids certain topics, could keep their mind occupied for hours. They aren't trying to catch someone in a lie or make judgments. Rather, they're fascinated by the complexity of human behavior and the stories that go untold. The satisfaction comes from the mental engagement, not the conclusion. They don't always need to solve the mystery. Sometimes just the act of noticing is enough. It's a mental exercise, a way to keep their minds sharp and their curiosity alive. The world is full of small, unexplained things, and these little quirks, whether in people, patterns, or nature, keep them buzzing with that quiet, almost secret delight of figuring things out. For Sigma females, these subtle mysteries are a constant source of wonder and mental stimulation, offering them a sense of purpose and excitement that's rarely shared with anyone else. In the end, Sigma females embody a unique balance of depth, independence, and quiet strength that sets them apart from the crowd. They don't seek validation, they don't follow the trends, and they certainly don't need to fit into any predefined mold. Instead, they create their own space in the world, finding satisfaction in the simplest, most unexpected places and in ways that others often overlook. Whether it's the thrill of observing life's tiny mysteries, the power of saying no unapologetically, or the joy they find in imperfections, Sigma females embrace their individuality with a grace that is both refreshing and empowering. What makes them so captivating isn't just their independence, but their ability to understand and appreciate the world around them in ways few others can. They take pleasure in the subtle, the hidden, the overlooked, finding beauty and meaning where others see none. And through it all, they remain true to themselves, walking through life with a quiet confidence that needs no approval from anyone. So, the next time you encounter a Sigma female, don't try to figure her out or place her in a box. Just appreciate the depth, mystery, and satisfaction she brings to the world. Because in a world that often values conformity, her power lies in her ability to stand apart, beautifully and unapologetically herself. If you found yourself captivated by the depth and complexity of Sigma females, and you want to explore more fascinating insights into this unique mindset, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. By subscribing, you're joining a community that celebrates individuality, authenticity, and the unapologetic pursuit of depth in a world that often settles for the surface. Stay tuned for more thought-provoking content that'll keep your mind buzzing and your perspective fresh. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Subscribe now, and let's keep this conversation going. Thanks for watching and bye.